Yo, what is going on guys, your boy here, and today what I've got for you, it is a MotoGP Dutch TT review for you guys. It's about 3 in the morning, I don't give a shit because I'm making this fantastic review for you guys, so let's get straight into it. So right off the bat, Vinales had been signed for Yamaha. It's been confirmed for this weekend that he would be signed to move forward into Yamaha. Personally, I think it was a good decision. We kind of knew it was going to happen, to be honest. Fair play to him, he's done really well in the past few seasons, so it's nice to see a guy like him with so much potential getting into Yamaha and hopefully doing the goods. Hopefully he'll become maybe the next Max Verstappen of Red Bull. We'll have to wait and see on that one, but yeah, a lot of promise and a lot of good potential with him, especially next year with Yamaha. So yeah. So moving from that into qualifying was sort of mixed conditions. There were threats of rain, but it really wasn't effective in Q1. So pretty much Q1 was just a dry session. Fastest to go through into Q2, and that was pretty much it. And right from the word go, it was Jorge Hernandez who really was lighting up that time sheet. Pedrosa as well, who was struggling a little bit. I was very surprised that he was in Q1 actually, to be honest, because it looked like he would easily be in Q2, but he wasn't for some odd reason. And actually he would have to fight really hard to get into Q2 because by the end of it, it was starting to really hammer it down. So Pedrosa really had to get that lap in because he was really struggling to get into the top 2. And the guys like Barbara, Jorge Hernandez, those kind of people were really lighting up those timesheets and trying to get themselves into the top 2 spots, whereas Pedrosa was really struggling. But in the end, unfortunately, with Pedrosa, he was out. Unfortunate, to be honest. We now had a Honda elimination from Q1, not since the big one Marquez last year in Mugello. So a bit really unfortunate, and yeah, very disappointing for Pedrosa, especially as there could be threats of him actually leaving the team, getting sacked and maybe being replaced. So yeah, to be honest, but you know, hopefully he can bounce back. I mean, we're seeing, I don't know what's happening with Pedrosa. I mean, we're seeing him really struggling with that bike. I mean, I know the Honda's not very good as a bike, but Jesus, Pedrosa's not really doing as well as Marquez, to be honest, and I feel like he's becoming the next sort of Mark Webber of Red Bull to Sebastian Vettel. So hopefully he can really get his act together and really sort of maybe put a massive challenge towards Marc Marquez, because I feel like Marquez just like absolutely walking away from Pedrosa. So a bit unfortunate, you know, but hopefully, like I say, he can bounce back from this. I would not like to see him suffer any more pain of, you know, him being Marquez's little bitch. So yeah, so yeah, unfortunate, but that's just racing. So yeah, but like I said, same unfortunate for him, Pedrosa to get out of Q1 there. But yeah, the guys who did get through were Jorge Hernandez and Paul Espargaro. Good job by them, particularly for Jorge. He's been having a really good season so far this year, so it was nice to see him once again advancing into Q2. So that was great, and same with Paul Espargaro as well. I mean, like I said, he's having a good season as well. So yeah, it was great to see the two up there. So yeah, so moving into Q2, the rain was sort of a big issue now. The rain came down and a lot of the riders came on track, tried to get their laps in. One man who really was flying at the moment was Dovizioso. He really was putting some markers down quite a lot, putting like 48, 47, 46s, which is insanely quick. Some guys tried to beat it, but one guy who was really struggling was Jorge Lorenzo. I'm pretty sure he's been struggling the whole weekend, to be honest, because I don't know, he was really struggling, which is quite surprising because if you think about it, Jorge Lorenzo, he was the former championship leader at one point, you know. Surely, you know, he should be up there with the likes of Rossi and Marquez, but the fact that he isn't, it was quite a shocker, to be honest. I don't know whether it was him struggling with the setup of his bike or the conditions or whatever, but yeah, very strange to see Jorge struggling, and actually he qualified 11th, which is a shocker. So yeah, very, very weird to see Jorge right down there, especially in conditions where the other riders, his other championship rivals, have been really like doing well, well, not really doing well, sort of doing okay, I would say, compared to him. So yeah, I don't know, a bit unfortunate, but yeah. And yeah, so the rain came down harder, and yeah, and then as a result, yeah, Dovizioso was on pole position, first ever pole actually for Ducati in a long, long while. So that was good for him, you know, and good for Ducati as well. They deserve it, to be honest, because they've been kind of struggling these last few years, but now since 2015 they've got their act together and they've been really starting to challenge the might of Honda and Yamaha. So it's nice to see them on the top, especially with Dovizioso. I know how good of a rider he is. I mean, he's just an absolute bomb of a rider in MotoGP. So it's nice to see him back in the top once again. Second was Rossi. Good rider by him. Did a really good job. And third actually was Scott Redding. So great ride by him, great lap by him in third place. Real shock in the arm, to be honest, because no one expected him to be up on the front row, to be honest, especially on a customer Ducati bike. So fair play to him. I mean, he's done a really good job so far this year. I mean, he's kind of been in the midfield, but that lap that he did in Aston, this weekend in Aston was just unreal. So fair play to him, he did a really good job, so yeah. So then as we got into the race, it was a good start, I would say, from Dovizioso, but a really, really good start from Scott Redding. He tried to go around the outside, but then got sort of pushed out and then dropped to like 7th or 8th. So yeah, so at the front it was the Ducati of Dovizioso and Rossi behind. But also a guy who was on the move was Jorge Hernandez. He actually started about 10th, I believe it was, yeah, 10th. And got himself up into like 5th place at one point, like in the space of a few laps, which was crazy. So Jorge Hernandez really on the move, and actually he would go on to take the lead of the race by like what, lap 8, lap 9, which was absolutely crazy. So yeah, good on Jorge Hernandez there, making that tyre work out. He was actually on the soft wet tyres, whereas the rest were all on hard wets. That's the thing with MotoGP. You can actually run different compounds of the tyre. So for slicks you have obviously soft and mediums or hards, and then intermediates you have soft, medium, hard, and then with wets you have the same sort of thing as well. So yeah, so Yoni was running a soft setting of the wet tyres, whereas the others were running a hard setup of the wet tyres. So yeah, Yoni making the good mint with those tyres, and really it was the perfect decision, because then afterwards Yoni would just walk away from Dovizioso and Rossi, who were the former leaders of the race. So good on Yoni. I mean, that was just, I don't know, it was just awesome. It was nice to see Yoni take the lead of the race, because it was nice to see something different, to be honest. I mean, it was really, really cool. It kind of reminded me of Hulkenberg in Brazil in 2012, when he took the lead in Brazil in sort of similar conditions as well. So yeah, fair play to him. He did a really good job to take the lead of the race up with that fantastic tyre strategy that he made at the start. Then unfortunately, with about, I'd say 15, 14 laps to go, disaster struck, and that was with Jorge Hernandez. He actually fell off his bike as he was leading. He was like comfortably leading by about 5 seconds, but then unfortunately he crashed it in the on the gravel and on turn 1, and then that was it for him. So really, really unfortunate, which meant that Dovizioso retook the lead from Rossi behind, and actually we saw the Pramac boys, the Pramac satellite Ducatis, closing up to the leaders. Actually, they did a really good job. To be honest, especially with Petrucci, you know, coming out, being the same as Yoni, coming out of nowhere and just going for the lead of the race. Same with Scott, even though he had a bad start and really dropped down to like 10th or 11th. So fair play to both of them, and actually they were battling for the lead quite quickly on them. They're actually close to the leaders quite quickly, and actually they were on them with about 13 laps to go. And yeah, and actually Petrucci actually got to 2nd place, but then as Petrucci got to second and Scott almost got to 3rd place, the red flag was called because the weather got worse and worse, to the point that it was almost aquaplaning conditions, so they had to red flag it, of course. So yeah, personally I think it was a good decision to put the red flag out, because it was getting to the point that it was going to become an aquaplaning situation where riders were going to fall down and hit the deck so easily. Like, it would have been a repeat of probably, what, 2007 in Europe, where so many drivers went off because of the conditions, that it was just undrivable. So yeah, it was the right decision. Like I said, it was the right decision. I think 1 or 2 laps later, and it would have just been too unrideable, to the point that everyone would have been down for sure. So it was the right decision, and yeah, it was red flagged for a little bit, but then we got back going again, so that was good to know. But yeah, good decision by I don't know what the thing. I think FIM, yeah, good decision by them to red flag it, because literally it could have got to the point that we would have had a sort of repeat of Europe, where the conditions got so bad that a lot of the drivers went off the track, and yeah, it became undrivable. So then the red flag was out. It was only out for like, what, 20 minutes I would say. Then we got that going again, because the conditions started to brighten up a little bit. It was starting to get a little bit more dry, so the race got back going again. And yeah, it was Dovizioso leading it from Rossi in second, and then of course the 2 Pramacs behind as well. And as we got to, say, lap 3, lap 4 of the restart, unfortunately Dovizioso crashed out, and that was it for him. It was really sad, to be honest, because he was actually doing a really good job in the lead, you know, especially holding off Rossi. I mean, it was a fantastic job, but unfortunately the pressure got to him, and yeah, he was off the deck. Really unfortunate. Like I said, a chance of a Ducati win in so long, just gone like that, so really unfortunate. Then afterwards we would have more and more riders come down. It would just come like left, right, centre, like every rider that went down, like what, a minute later another rider go down. So we would have Smith down, Crutchlow down, of course Dovizioso down, who else? Brado, I believe, was down, and Puro, and that's all I know. Apparently there's about 8 that retired, or 8 or 9 that retired in the restart, which was insane. So yeah, I don't know really, to be honest, but I guess I don't know. I guess that's MotoGP, to be honest. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know why. I think it was just maybe grip or something like that. But yeah, very crazy to see so many retirements go out so damn quickly in such a distinctive time period, I would say. So yeah. But then with about 6 laps to go, Rossi went down. It was such unfortunate for Valentino, because he actually did a really good job retaking the lead, and then really was on course to win it, but unfortunately the front went down, and yeah, he was out of the race. It was really unfortunate, which meant that Marc Marquez actually took the lead of the race. The championship leader took the lead of the race with, guess who? Jack Miller. Jack Miller, second place. Who would have thought it? He came out of nowhere and just got into second place, and actually had a golden opportunity to win the race, because he actually was closing massively on Marc Marquez. And then just moments later, Jack was all over the back of Marquez, and actually went for the move, went down the inside, going into the chicane, and actually took the lead of the race. And yeah, everyone, like on Twitter and everything, just went absolutely crazy. Even I went crazy when this happened, to be honest, with about 6 laps to go. It was really insane, and we were actually thinking, hold on, Jack could actually win this. Jack, we could see our first time winner in MotoGP since God knows how long, since ages, probably since 2013 in US with Marc Marquez. So yeah. Meanwhile, we had a battle going on for 10th place between Paul Espargaro and Scott Redding. Scott, who'd been running 4th but then dropped to 8th after the restart, close up to Paul Espargaro in 3rd place and passed him. I don't know where he passed him. I believe it might have been at chicane. Yeah, so a good move to put him up onto 3rd place. And actually, Jack has been really having an okay season, to be honest. I mean, he hasn't been the standout I would say, in terms of his teammate Petrucci, but he's been having an okay season. He's been getting that experience that he needs, you know. He's been really consistent, I would say. Hasn't put a foot wrong at all. So yeah, he's had a really good season so far, and and to see him up there, you know, even though it is it's a kind of mediocre race, and actually it's a wet race as well. Doesn't really matter because, you know, at the end of the day he was third, so yeah, and actually he finished third actually, so good on him to finish third. Not podium for him. He hasn't had a podium since last year in Misano, so good on him to get that third place there. Also on the other side of the spectrum, Jorge Lorenzo really struggling. He started 10th, and then when the red flag came out, he finished like 15th, and then once the restart got back going again, he was 14th. But then afterwards, he would just stay there in 14th. It was really surprising. I don't know. He's really had sort of a weird weekend this weekend, to be honest, because literally whilst his rivals have been like relishing this weekend, he's not really been up there, to be honest. I don't know whether it's because of him going to Ducati next year or the setup or whatever, like I said before, but yeah, it's really been strange, and it was very strange to also like see him in 14th and not making that progress that maybe some of the riders in terms of Marc Marquez or Valle would do. So it's been a really strange weekend, and hopefully he can bounce back in Sachsenring in a couple of weeks. So yeah, but then in the end it was Jack Miller who took his first ever MotoGP win. That was just insane. Probably one of the best moments ever in racing, to be honest, apart from Alex Rossi winning the Indy 500 course this year. So it's been insane, really insane. Who would have thought it? Literally a lot of people were saying this was a 1 in 1,000 chance, 1 in 1,000 chance of this actually being possible. So yeah, that is crazy, man, just absolutely crazy. I mean, he deserves it, to be honest, because he rid so well. He came out of nowhere, past Marc Marquez, and really pulled a gap to him, you know, to be honest. I thought Mark was going to come back and maybe try and pass him, but no, he actually didn't, and actually Jack managed to pull a lead on him, which is insane, especially on a satellite Honda bike. So good on him, to be honest, and good on the team as well. They've had sort of a rough and tumbled year so far. I mean, what with their bike not being as quick as some of the other satellite Honda bikes, to be honest. So yeah, so it's nice to see a team like that come up through the shadows and take it to the big dogs, of course. So that's cool, and nice to see Jack Miller up there as well. You know, we've known Jack to be overly aggressive, to be honest.
And just maybe he locked it up a little bit. I'm not sure, but he had lots of momentum going and didn't need to be there.
But to see him being like nice and smooth that he did in Assen is insane. It's absolutely crazy, and yeah, he's fair. He truly deserves it, to be honest. That win was truly special. It was insane. It was crazy. It's one of the best upset wins I've ever seen in my life. You know, he deserved it. Like I said, I don't even know. I don't even have any more to say. He just deserves it, to be honest. So yeah. Fair play. Yeah, Jack won the race from second place, Marc Marquez, and third, Scott Redding. Marc Marquez, good ride by him, second place, getting that. It's alright, especially as his rivals were down and out. The fact that he is now 20 odd points ahead of his rivals, Rossi and Lorenzo, pretty damn good, and hopefully that will give him a good mindset going into the next round in Sachsenring in a couple of weeks. And then Scott as well, third place, not bad. Not bad for the young kid. He did a really good job. He's had a really good weekend this weekend, so fair play to him. He's really done well this weekend. So as a whole, this race was insane. It was crazy. You might not tell from my voice, but like I said, I'm trying to keep it down because my parents are sleeping. But yeah, this race was fucking awesome, insane. Pretty much the best race in MotoGP history, to be honest. Even better than the shite Azerbaijan Grand Prix that was last week. Yeah, it was a crazy race. I flipping enjoyed it. I mean, Jesus Christ, if I had to give it a rating, I would give it a 20 out of 10. Literally the best race I've ever seen in history, period. So yeah, it was absolutely crazy. So much action. The weather made it like the most insanest part of the race ever, especially with the fact that there were so many like unexpected riders coming up and battling the sharpened group. So yeah, that was awesome. And then also, of course, have the first time winner in terms of Jack Miller coming through, aka Jackass as well, coming through and to win the race and take his first win. It's just, this is why I love MotoGP sometimes. It's things like this that I love MotoGP, and I love racing as well. You know, to see an underdog team or an underdog car or an underdog driver come through and take wins like that. That's what makes racing so good. That's what makes races so special. The fact that we get things like that happening is just crazy, you know, like, Jesus Christ, it's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy, and yeah, like I said, it's the best race I've ever seen in my life, you know, so much action, so much drama. I mean, you can't write this, you literally cannot script this at all. It's just crazy. So yeah, literally probably the best race I've seen, period. In terms of my rating, like I said, 20 out of 10. 20 out of 10. I don't need to say much. I didn't see anything at all, to be honest, because yeah, it's just crazy. I mean, if you haven't seen the race, I demand you go see it, because literally it is the best race you'll ever see in your entire life, period. So yeah guys, that's it for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment below what you thought about the race. Was it enjoyable? Was it good? Was it the best race you've ever seen in your life? Literally comment below, give me your thoughts on the race. Hit the like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe if you're new, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Your boy, I'm out.
Find the right words, and there's no way this is real life. There's no telling you're the right girl, so I can only say that it feels right.